Hello, hello. So today we have more permission shenanigans to dive into. Today we're going to be talking about capabilities for files in Linux. So last time we talked about ACLs, and the idea behind ACLs is it gives us granular control, specifically for who can do things to a file. Capabilities is a similar idea. We want granular control, but now we're doing it over what a file can do. So the idea behind this is that when we run a file as root, there are certain commands that it'll do that require root access. For example, opening a socket versus reading a file. And the idea is for some commands, we only want root to do certain things. The rest should be done as a regular user. And so to follow this idea of principle of least privilege, capabilities allow us to separate those specific actions. And so what a capability is we broke down those actions into 40 different capabilities. And for that executable file, we only set the capabilities that it needs. If you want to learn more in depth about it, again, we have a great blog going into detail about it that you should read. I say we, but I mean, I found this great blog by someone else unrelated to UFSIT. So, talking about capabilities, it is pretty simple to set. You just use set cap and then the capability you want. For here, I have a specific example of the capability name and the settings that we are setting for that capability. And the reason I do this is because this one kind of just ignores all file permissions. Right? It's overriding our direct access control, I think is what DAC stands for. But basically, it means ignore the permissions, just do it, right? You can just do things to this file. So that is why this one is pretty handy as a red teamer. Just ignores all permissions, gives us access to that file no matter what. So to secure it, the idea is we want to find any files with those capabilities, and then if it looks malicious, let's remove them, okay? So let's go ahead and put this into practice. For this, we have a few vulnerabilities to test out, so let's do it, okay? So I'm going to pick my modules of CapCat, CapVim, and capless, right? Okay. And let's go ahead and set this up. Awesome. So if we run our check OEC, we have 3 vulnerabilities we need to patch. So let's go ahead and let's investigate this. So we have this get cap tac all. So let's do get cap tac all on the root directory and pipe our errors to dev null so we don't see any error messages. Oh wow, we see we already start getting stuff. So here this output tells us the file that was found and specifically what capabilities it has. And so you'll see here that some of them kind of come standard with the system. So here we have the Kerberos child. So this is some Kerberos Windows stuff. Should be able to read and search as root. Okay. SE Linux, SSD PAM. So I'm seeing a lot of authentication related things have these permissions set. And for pretty much all of these, I'm going to say that looks normal with the system. These things should have authentication abilities. If you're ever confused, Google it, ask ChatGPT, pretty helpful. Again, for here, like we have, let's see, MTR packet, pin, these 2 things can access the network as root, which makes sense to me. I mean, pin is doing things to the network, so it should have root access for network things. And yeah, and then we see snap again has network access because it needs to download packages from snap pin has that network access. And then we have this other thing here. So this, if you're not familiar with, it probably all looks like true positives to you, in which case you need lots of Googling and lots of experience with it to get familiar, okay? But that's what the output looks like. Now, as for which ones are malicious, I see capDAC override here, here, and here. That's usually a bad sign, especially when it's these things that normally don't have cat capabilities, like cat, less, and vim. So let's go ahead and fix that using what we have here. Honestly, we should just remove all of them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set capDAC all, and let's do it on user bin less. User bin less. And let's do user bin cat and user bin vim.basic. And now if I run my checker, hey, we passed all the checks. So great. That means we were able to modify all of the vulnerabilities associated with capabilities. So with that, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.